Well, this game came out of nowhere, huh?
Yeah, I don't even remember it being announced. It just kind of... it just kind of happened.
Yeah, basically. So, Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Where do I begin with this one?
Probably at
This
store.
was... For some reason, Activision had this thing where I didn't think they could do a game without Venom.
Yeah.
You had Ultimate Spider-Man, which is very, very Venom-centric. Spider-Man 3, which, based on the movie, was very Venom-centric. And now this game, where the entire plot is about Venom. So, I don't know where they came up with this idea.
Yeah, because this plot is completely original.
Isn't there a Maximum Venom storyline now, too?
Sort of, but it's relatively new.
So, this was Maximum Venom before Maximum Venom.
Yeah, this story is completely original. It's a little bit nonsensical.
So, this game starts, like, near the end of the story. It's really weird.
The opening cutscene has been turned into a meme.
He looks so depressed. Let me say this right off the bat. I don't know who does the voice for Peter Parker in this game. Dude, you suck.
Yeah, this is probably the worst Spider-Man voice actor we've ever had.
Honestly.
He sounds so whiny all the time.
And he just starts the game beating up symbiotes in an exploding city, and it's like, huh?
Where's Cage in the search party?
Oh yeah, like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I'm not even joking. This cutscene actually does take place, like, right before the final boss.
Like, I to this day, don't get why they started here.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't really make any sense for them to be doing a flashback thing for this game, but they chose to do it.
Yeah, so, I mean, Prototype does that too, but at least there it made some sort of narrative sense.
Yeah.
It's not like he's telling somebody the story of this game. It just... Okay.
Well, Spidey kind of was kind of narrating it as they went. But
who was he telling the story to?
I think he was just kind of like having like a recollection of everything, because it's not like he was talking to himself.
Because it's Prototype.
It wasn't handled very well, that's for sure.
In Prototype, he's telling the story to somebody. In this, he's just talking. But point is, he got into a fight with Venom. And for some reason, part of the symbiote breaks off of Venom and bonds with Peter. Why?
I don't know.
Like, when has that ever happened again? Like, he's fought Venom so many times. Why is now the time where it re-bonds to him and rips off of Venom and... Okay. Something about this game, too, you never see Peter Parker and you never see Eddie Brock. It's just Spider-Man and Venom the whole time.
Yeah, Spidey's in costume the entire game.
And
I think
Venom...
this is the only time that's ever really happened in a Spider-Man game.
Enter Electro.
Oh yeah, you never see his face in that game either.
It's weird. But they fight, and they do kind of the Wii Spider-Man 3 thing where you could switch between the regular suit and the black suit because, being Paragon and Renegade was all the rage at the time. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Mass Effect.
Yeah, seriously.
So let's put it in a Spider-Man game. And to be honest, the story doesn't really go anywhere from there. It's just Venom starts spreading the symbiote because...
Yeah, it's weird because you summed it up pretty well. There's a lot of stuff going on at this game that ultimately doesn't mean anything.
Like, why was Venom spraying the symbiote? I don't know.
They kind of loosely implied that he was giving birth to new symbiotes at like an extremely rapid rate. Why, they never explain that.
Well, because when has Venom ever been interested in like a mass alien takeover?
He never has been, but they don't explain what causes this or why this is happening. Because at the very end of the game, with one of the endings, it seems like Eddie himself doesn't really know what's going on either.
Yeah, so it's like, has Venom finally taken Eddie Brock over? Like,
I don't know.
it's weird. Like, I could maybe see Carnage doing something like this.
He's
But
tried in the comics.
Exactly, because Maximum Carnage was a thing.
Yeah.
So, but Venom?
Yeah.
And this isn't like a different Venom. This is Eddie Brock Venom. So
this game does write Venom and Spider-Man to a certain extent very out of character.
it does. Spider-Man is so whiny and depressed all the time.
Well, I mean, especially when you go to like the dark path in this story, he starts making decisions that are outside of his normal decision making, like to the point where it's not characteristic for him. And there's there's no reason for him to be doing that.
It's like,
and
but
like,
though he has the black suit.
Yeah, who cares? And the bad ending is like the most stupid thing ever.
Doesn't he kill Eddie Brock?
Yeah, he kills Eddie Brock, and then he kind of takes over as the king of the symbiotes. Like, he becomes a bad guy.
And like, Black Cat is his symbiote queen.
Yeah.
And like who gets involved? Like, Wolverine gets involved. Luke Cage gets involved.
Black Widow is here.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight for some reason.
Vulture gets symbiotified.
Vulture, Kingpin is in here. Electro's in here.
But the thing is, none of these characters are even a little bit relevant because the main threat is established to be Venom from the beginning. Yeah. And it's like you're fighting these guys just to pad out game time. And
it's weird because like the first half of the game is just like typical standard Spider-Man fare. And then suddenly there's this instance where Wolverine is tracking down people that are acting weird, and then all of a sudden the entire tone of the game shifts.
There's a scene where Spider-Man is throwing people off of a building.
Yeah, I know. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any real build-up to it other than, oh, Venom was here one time, and then all of a sudden it just leads to this.
Like, I don't guess, even if these people were infected, Peter Parker would not just start throwing people off the top of a building because he's just killing people.
Yeah, no, that scene right there isn't very, because he doesn't know what's going on. To him, they're just people being crazy. Why is he throwing them off a rooftop?
If Peter Parker, Spider-Man would never do that. So, and it's not, and you could do this in the red and blue suit. It's not like he's black suit when he does this. So
yeah. I mean, it would make sense if maybe the good choice, bad choice thing actually altered the story, but it doesn't.
Like, it alters the dialogue and nothing else.
Yeah, it changes who's working with him in cutscenes, but they all lead to the same result.
Exactly. It's stupid. But there's one choice, and it's not even the final choice, that the game makes for you.
Yeah, it's based off of what your hero gauge is at the time of getting to the final section.
Because there are 4 endings to the game. 4. Yeah. And
how you get those endings is literally dependent on 2 things. That's it.
Like just either be the red suit most of the game and then decide to be bad at the end, or be the black suit all game and decide to be good at the end. Like that's all it takes. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
And I'll give the game like story-wise, I think this game's trash. Honestly,
It's
And
not,
you can't.
it's not necessarily bad. It's just that it stretches out like nothing. Because there's
Like,
no
this would make.
there's no deep like running arcs and stuff like in in PS4 where there's like multiple stuff going on and everything. It's just like you get to the second half of the game and it's literally just you being Black Widow's errand boy doing shield rescue
And
missions.
unlike previous Spider-Man games, once you beat the game, you can't just reload and then do the side missions you missed. Like, if you don't do them as you go, you're screwed. Because,
It's not like there's any side missions that are worth doing anyway.
but like for example, once you beat Spider-Man 2, you could just go back into the world after the game's done and just do cleanup. In this, you can't.
Yeah, you play through the credits 3 times and then you get New Game Plus because that's how you unlock New Game Plus. What a stupid way to unlock it.
And you're right, the side missions are pointless. And
the stupid thing is the game doesn't even really make them clear because they're not missions that you have to talk to somebody and activate. They just kind of auto activate and get added to your checklist without the game really telling you, and then they become uncompletable once you get to a certain point of the game, and the game doesn't tell you that you've missed your chance to finish them.
Now, to give this game credit going off the story, it is a lot more polished than Spider-Man 3.
Well, because it's original. It doesn't have to use the game's setting to try to tell something original.
So, I mean, it's not as buggy, is what I'm saying. It runs a lot smoother. It's still not bug-free.
Yeah, I would say the game is... have you ever played a game that it never really crashed, but you could just tell that it was on the verge of crashing at every loading screen?
Sonic 06?
Yeah. This game feels like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's never crashed on me, but...
There's a couple times where it seemed like it was going to.
Which version did you play? 360?
I played the Wii and the 360 version.
Is there a difference?
Graphics in the Wii version are a little bit worse, of course.
Well, yeah, that's
And the Wii version doesn't have the partner system; it has alternate costumes.
I think I like that better, actually.
Oh yeah, it is nicer because the partner system is just completely useless. You don't even need it.
Isn't one of the alternate costumes Spider Carnage?
It's an alternate costume for the black suit. Yes,
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, the story, and then Venom at the end turns into a Hydra. Like what?
Yeah, Venom Hydra.
That's the final boss. Is Venom as a Hydra? Okay.
Also, the helicarrier is really small in this game.
It is. And the voice acting sucks. It's especially Spider-Man. I don't know who they got to do him, but come on, man. Do better.
I honestly don't think the rest of the voice cast is too bad. Mary Jane's a little bit annoying, but everybody else, like Luke Cage is pretty good. I think Black Cat might have the best. Black Cat might have the best voice actor in this game.
Does MJ seem like a bitch in this game, or is it just me?
For Mary Jane standards, yes.
Yeah,
she seemed very antagonistic for most of the game. I mean, I kind of get it because Mary Jane knows what the black suit does, but she turns on him way too easily.
And just it goes back to what we were saying. A lot of the characters feel out of character in this game.
Yeah, like outside of the main three, I think everybody else is relatively decent. Like Widow's a pain because the MCU doesn't depict this, but in the comics, Black Widow's a massive pain in the rear end.
Yeah, she's a bitch for sure.
Yeah, Black Cat is pretty in character. Everybody else is pretty in character.
But the two characters they mainly focus on, Spider-Man and Venom,
are just Jane too,
and Mary Jane are just wrong.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to turn Spider-Man into, like, Batman, all broody and shit, and no. Venom feels a lot more hostile than normal.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like typical Venom. He just feels like he's like a murderer or something.
He just feels like a generic monster, and not
he does.
Venom.
I do like his voice in this game, though.
But his voice actor is pretty cool, and his mouth never moves when he's talking. Did you notice that?
Yeah, that is weird.
Regardless, now let's get on to the gameplay, which I think is why people love this game so much. Because this, of these first few open world games, probably has the best combat system.
I will say this. If you remove the 2 Insomniac games, I think this is the best Spider-Man game.
You think so?
I think so. Because it has the second best traversal system. Because the web swinging is very on par with Spider-Man 2's, but it has the web zip. This is the first game that got the web zip right.
Yes, it did. I'll give you credit.
And it had a straight up web zip, which was very welcomed.
I feel like we haven't had a straight up zip line since the PS1 games.
Yeah, that was the last time that they had something like this.
Or maybe the first movie game. I'm not sure.
This was the first game that got Spider-Man's wall mobility really good too, because he could run on walls. He could fight on the side of buildings, which was really new. And this is the only game that's ever done something like that too.
Yeah, because you can't even do that in the Insomniac games. Well,
no, there's never a reason to.
Maybe in the new one with Venom being there. We'll see.
Cool. Yeah, and then the combat is very arcadey.
Yeah, the combos you get in this game are insane.
Yeah,
insane.
It doesn't seem like much at first, but when you get to the second half of the game, it almost turns into Dynasty Warriors.
It does. You have super attacks too, and those web zip combos are nuts.
Yeah, and then here you can go to the black suit, and you're flailing around like these 10-yard long tendrils, and there's 90 symbiote bodies flying all over the place.
Was this the first game to do the black suit tendril thing?
To this extent, yes.
Yeah, because they do it in the next game too, and it looks like
the tendril thing is mostly a Carnage thing.
Yeah, so it's weird that I guess it's to make it different from the regular suit.
Yeah.
Because I think because the new game's doing it too, it looks like so.
Yeah.
But the black suit, you feel really powerful. Black suit.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's any downside to using the black suit.
No, it's basically you can freely switch between 2 different characters because there is a very different. They have completely different attacks. I don't think there's a single shared attack between the 2 of them.
Which is good because the black suit of Spider-Man 3 sucks.
Yeah.
But no, he looks a lot cooler in this game.
I don't like how tiny his eyes are on him.
No, but I like that better than the Raimi black suit.
Yeah, because this is comic accurate black suit.
And he feels powerful even without that. He doesn't have the stupid rage meter anymore, I don't think.
No.
But his combos are nuts. Nuts. And he will decimate bosses, but if you're trying to be a good guy, you probably shouldn't use it much.
I mean, the red suit it's good on its own. You just need to know which moves are really good.
I think it's a bit flashier, and
it's more I guess single target friendly, while the black suit is more for horde clearing.
Yeah.
So if you're fighting bosses, the red suit is arguably better, but
if you're fighting a bunch of symbiotes at once, black suit, quake them.
Oh yeah.
Graphically, it looks actually pretty decent. Compared to say the last Spider-Man game.
Oh well.
It looks so much better than Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy.
Spider-Man 3 looks like crap. This I mean, it's aged a little bit, but it still looks okay.
But it doesn't run great.
No.
No matter which version you get.
It stutters a lot.
The soundtrack, I can't remember it to save my life.
It's not good.
This is not something I normally wouldn't complain about, but I'm gonna. The main menu is the most boring thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, seriously.
It's literally just a background and a picture of Spider-Man. That's it.
And it's not
so
even like a full screen picture. It's like hyper letterbox. Oh man. Because I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man had such a good menu.
It did.
Even though you weren't on it for very long, it had a really good menu. But this game is just like, well, we have a menu because we have to have a menu.
I can't remember Spider-Man 3s at all.
I don't remember it either.
I remember every other one except this. This is just like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. The spider sense works a lot better in this game.
It's a radar. It's akin to the detective mode that the Arkham games would.
This came out before the Arkham games.
Yeah, this was before.
Oh my god!
But it kind of works like that in a way.
A little bit, because you could target stuff with it too, and you could use it as a radar. So this is the first game where the spider sense was actually, useful. Oh yeah.
I do want to talk about one thing, because as cool as the combat in this game is, there's one move that just breaks the game in half, and it's. If you've ever played this game, you know what I'm talking about, and it's the web strike.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. You could beat the whole game just by doing that.
I've done it.
Yeah. And they try to put enemies in the game that can counter it, but you can easily just jump over them and then do it again, and they can't counter it 2 times in a row.
And they just die. Like,
and it also helps that there's follow-up attack that you could do after that, so it's
you auto heal in this game now, so the game is even easier than the last couple. This game is not even remotely hard.
I forgot that this game had auto heal.
Like, this game is not difficult in any sort of way.
No,
it's actually kind of pathetic.
I think this was meant to be more of a style over substance game. Because
for sure. For sure.
And I'm confused as to why there's been this growing resurgence of people who are trying to say that this is better than the Insomniac games. I don't know where this came from, but there have been people saying that this is the best Spider-Man game.
The best Spider-Man game is 2018. I don't care what anyone says. I don't know. You're right, though. Where is that coming from?
I don't know. Like, it's a good game. I think it's the best game besides those two. So, but it's like this huge growing trend online.
Is it because this game's edgy? Like, fuck off.
I don't know. It feels like Sonic Unleashed all over again, where people just didn't care about the game, and then just one day everybody's like, "It's the best Sonic game ever." I'm like, since when?
You know what's funny? Those two came out. Those two came out the same year. Funny enough. No, this game's not. I don't. How do I put this? I like the game enough, but I don't go back to it. I haven't got back to this game probably since 2010. It's been a long time since I played it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't revisit this one as much as I did like Ultimate or 2, but that's mostly because I think mechanically the game is the best of the non-Insomniac games, which is why I think so highly of it. But progression and mission structure wise, this game is a bore fest.
It's
compared
to
Ultimate and 2.
Because the story, you just don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has got to have one of the weakest stories in a Spider-Man game.
Dude, like, the second half of the game after they shut the city down, and it's just like an army of symbiotes in an abandoned Manhattan. You'd think there'd be some cool stuff to do in a situation like that, where there's just symbiotes everywhere, and it's just you and like 6 other people doing stuff. But the game somehow gets even more boring with its missions.
Because it's all like, go here, fight a symbiote. Go here, fight a symbiote. Go here, fight a symbiote. Okay.
It's Widow using you as your rescue ops errand boy.
And in a situation like this, maybe call like I don't know Iron Man or Captain America or
Well,
somebody.
the funny thing is that he tried to reach out to Iron Man and Mr. Fantastic, but they weren't available because we don't want them in this game.
Oh, Iron Man just got a really good movie. Let's not sully him. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because came out the same year the MCU started.
yeah, it did.
Oh
Actually.
my god.
I feel like that would have made this the best time to have Iron Man be a part of this.
Yeah, because I feel like he would have been more useful than like Moon Knight.
Yeah.
But anyway, now there's something we haven't really talked about yet, which is the choice system, because that was a big feature they made in this game, and it barely affects anything.
Yeah.
Like the story almost doesn't change. Like Peter just has either nice dialogue or mean dialogue. Nothing changes.
And you pick between, it gives you a good or a bad option here. The good option is you fly to Riker's in the red suit on Moon Knight's ship. If you pick the black suit option, Vulture flies you to the island while he's wearing the black suit. That's it.
The only time it really matters is during the final boss. And
the Black Cat segment, because that helps define the ending.
Yeah.
Get.
But like, there's one where literally all that changes is he's either nicer to Vulture or tells Vulture to drown or something. Like, it's so stupid.
Well, there is one earlier in the game that actually kind of unlocks a different mission if you choose the black suit. It's the Luke Cage trying to stop a gang war thing.
Oh yeah.
If you pick the red suit, it ends the mission right there, but if you choose the black suit, it takes you into like a unique combat mission that's exclusive to that. But I think that's the only instance where that happens.
I think so, because everything else, all it affects is you're either with Black Cat or you're with Moon Knight.
Yeah, the cutscene that follows.
But it's not like Mass Effect, where your choices fundamentally affect the storyline.
Or shoot, let's look at another game that came out like around this time or a few years earlier, Shadow, where it takes you to a completely different level.
The fact that you're praising Shadow as the positive here is kind of funny.
I hate that game with a passion, but at least it was one of the few games that tried to do the morality system thing that actually made it have an impact on the game.
I mean, yeah. Too bad that game sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give a bad game praise where it deserves it, and that's one of the few places that game deserves praise, is that its morale system actually mattered.
Maybe one day we'll talk about Sonic games together. We'll see. But I think this game's all right. It hasn't stuck with me like, say, the PS1 Spider-Man game or Ultimate did, but I don't think it's shit like Spider-Man 3.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's weird for me to say this because I do still think it's the best of the non-Insomniac Spider-Man games, but at the same time, I would probably play 2 and Ultimate before this one.
2 has the charm of being the first, and Ultimate has just a more fun storyline.
Yeah,
so
but mechanically, this is just a better game outright than either of them.
It is, especially in terms of combat.
But the story and mission structure are just a big regression compared to the two of those. Yeah, like the boss fights in this game are incredible because they're spectacle fights. They're kind of akin to like Devil May Cry Bayonetta-esque, where they're just over the top.
Except the only one I don't really like is Electro. But
which Electro?
No, I said the one.
Oh, the Hydra Venom.
Yeah,
the Hydra Venom fight is a little bit too simple for its own good.
There was another version of this game on PS2, and it's like a side scroller.
Dude, yeah, because I've looked a little bit into this version just because I didn't know that it was different.
I haven't played it.
Which is weird because Wii and PS2 usually gets a downgraded version or a completely different version of a game. But The Wii version is just the Xbox and PS3 version, but with worse graphics. It still runs decent. I think it might run better than the Xbox version. As
That's
weird as that
funny.
is to say. Yeah, it is funny. But the PS2 is a 2D platformer.
And it's called Amazing Allies Edition.
Yeah,
I have
because
not played it.
there is like an assist system. And the assists are characters from like different corners of the Marvel universe. Like he can call for Professor Xavier's help and stuff
What?
like that. Yeah, like Xavier's an assist he can call and stuff like that. But it's like a maze puzzle platformer game or so. It's so
What?
weird.
What the?
Yeah, I don't know why it's like that, but
And I think there was a DS version, but I'm not sure. Cannot confirm.
hold on a second. I'm gonna look this up. I want to say there was also, but if there is, I've never seen anything from it. I'm actually curious now.
Yeah, I could be wrong because I don't think the 3DS was out yet.
No, the 3DS wasn't out for another couple of years. Is there a DS version? There is a DS version.
Oh shit!
Oh god, just looking at the screenshots, this game looks ugly even for DS standards.
Oh boy!
I'm gonna have to look up videos of this because I'm curious now.
Oh god! I don't want to see it. At this point, like I've said with all these other games, I do think there's more merit to playing this game than Spider-Man 3, especially with the new one coming out. You can kind of see where they might have got some influence with Venom.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there are some elements from this game that might be cameo or referenced or something.
In Spider-Man 2, yeah.
Because something that Najee Jeter, the voice actor for Miles, stated in a interview last year, he made it sound like that there's going to be a symbiote outbreak at some point in this game's plot. He didn't say it out loud, but he kind of hinted at the possibility, and everybody was like, "Isn't that just Web of Shadows?"
Oh boy!
So who knows? They might try to use this game as a little bit of inspiration.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, I think we can agree this is mechanically the best Spider-Man game up to this point.
Yes.
Do I think it's amazing? No, because the mission structure and the story suck.
Unless you like uh standing in front of a group of civilians that runs to a helicarrier mini ship one at a time for
That was
10 minutes.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah, well, a constant horde of symbiotes come from like 8 different directions and they start kidnapping the people and that's one of the few missions where the partner system actually helps because you need a second person.
Yeah, for sure.
And lucky for me, Wolverine gets the job done.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. But at this point, unless you're a Spider-Man completist, you can't download this on anything. You'd have to buy the disc. So
yeah, because Activision's Marvel games have pretty much all been delisted.
You might still be able to find Ultimate Alliance on the PS4. I'm not sure.
No.
Oh, I have that on the PS4 actually.
No, I mean you have it, but you can't download either of the first two.
Oh,
Like I said, every Activision game that was made for Marvel IP has been delisted because they don't have the rights to.
And you can't play it on old hardware, so or newer hardware, so you'd have to buy like a PS3, a 360, and a physical copy of the game to play this. So it's probably not worth that.
No. Ultimate Alliance 1 is, I'll say that. But this game, no. I like it, but it's not worth that.
No. So the newer games are much easier to access, and they're just better. So, but I mean, it's worth a check out if you can.
Yeah, I would say playing through it once isn't going to hurt anything. It is a fun experience, but
There's better games with Venom on the horizon, unless that game just sucks. But I really hope not.
no, I trust Insomniac. They've earned my trust.
But next up, we're going back to a level-based system. So next time we meet, unless there's a game I'm missing.
No, this is before the first Amazing movie game, I believe.
So we are going to be talking about Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Stick around for that, and we'll see you next. Wait, were you saying something?
I was about to say, welcome to the first Spider-Verse story. If you think I'm joking, I'm not.
No, he's so dead ass. But until then, take care.